guys, I'm going to come to you and show you a little behind the scenes editing. So I cannot tell you how many times I have clients that come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you got that shot or whatever. So whenever I see a moment when I'm out in the field and I see a really, really sweet moment, I go ahead and make sure that I get that moment caught on film. So I would adjust my ISO and everything for the area that I want, that I can foresee, that I want to get, and then I also make sure that I leave enough space below the frame and around the frame to edit out anything that I need to edit out. So on this picture, say the little baby wasn't in the shot, I would have centered my camera a little bit differently, and just got this in frame. Otherwise, but since I knew he was right here playing, this was a moment that just happened and I wanted to make sure I captured that. So I went in and I just backed up my camera a little bit, put film in focus, and just made sure that I had plenty of space right here to work with in post-processing. So I'm going to show you how I made this picture into a perfect picture. So what I have to do here is I come in and I have to zoom way far in. You see these lines? Every line has to match. Like when you start cloning out, it has to match perfectly. So I find the bottom edge here. See here, I'm going to turn my camera just a little bit to the baby. Okay, so I have this bottom edge, which is right here, that I'm going to follow these lines and to clone that baby out so I can make a perfect shot. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna find a line that I want to start with. I'm gonna start. My camera is wanting to slide on my desk right here. My desk is not, I ordered a new desk for the office and they haven't come in yet. So the desk I'm using is very slippery. Okay, so I'm going to use, let's see, this line right here. As you can see, this is the spot that I'm starting to clone. So I select that. I'm working in Photoshop. And then I have to make that line match all the way across the frame. So just little by little, I go in here and I clone that baby out. But you have to be super, super, super careful and very strategic because your colors have to match all the way across. Your shadows have to match. Your lines have to perfectly line up, or you can tell that it's been photoshopped afterwards. So I mean, you have to really know what you're doing here and how to work the program, and it's very time consuming, but it's worth it to get that perfect shot. So when I tell you I have a 2-week turnaround time, this is what I'm doing. I'm making sure that all your pictures are perfectly edited. On portrait sessions, it's a 2-week on portrait sessions. It's 4 to 6 week on elopements, like the micro weddings, the shorter, easier, less than 4-hour weddings basically. And then my full wedding galleries where I shoot thousands of pictures. I go through and edit every single picture. So I'm doing things like this. I'm adjusting color, making sure the wedding dresses are perfectly white, or champagne if they were a champagne dress. Just making them perfect. It's part of the process. It's part of the art. And this is also why a lot of people are like, well, I know you're busy. Why don't you get help? Well, I could get help, and I've tried to get help, but it's also an art, and it's very hard to replicate my vision in my art. It's not to say that what anybody else is doing is wrong, but I've kind of established my brand, and it's really, really hard to replicate that brand whenever have different people doing, maybe editing for you or whatever. So, and teaching these skills, I'm having to press 4 to 6 different buttons just doing one single line right now, and teaching those skills and teaching that process, and making sure that people are seeing the lines correctly and seeing the shadows that are created everywhere. And you have to make sure that those shadows match perfectly, or you can tell that the image has been photoshopped. So right here, this part's fairly simple. You know, it's a little time consuming. I've been editing now for about 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, and I've gotten this much kind of done. This is kind of a rough edit too. I'm definitely going to have to go in and tweak some areas that's sticking out to me like a sore thumb. But as I get closer and closer to this this area right here, the bridge and the mom's shoe, it's going to get more and more difficult to edit. So as you can see, the hand right here, I'm going to have to zoom way in here. And this is where it gets super, super, super strategic. I've got to make my brush size just tiny and start filling that space in. But it's got to be perfect. Like anywhere where this denim is different, then if it looks different, it will stick out like a sore thumb. So you have to just very slowly go through and just make sure there's a dark shadow here. So that shadow has to fill in perfectly across there, or again, it will look wrong. It won't look right. So in a space that is like right here where it's really dark and I really don't have much to pull from, you have to kind of find an area of similar likeness. So what I usually do, I don't really see anything in this area that would be what that would look like. So I'm going to come way over here and pull from this side of the image and see if I can just pull something that looks similar, that might look similar. I'm going to try this dark area right here. Okay, and so I'm going to pull that and see if I can make that look right and look and fill in correctly. I'm also going to have to change my adjustment here. Right now I have it on super, super, super soft. I'm going to have to change my adjustment there because the edge of the shirt is going to be very hard. It's not going to be a soft edge. So I've got to change my adjustment to make it look like the bottom of the shirt would. And then I just go in and fill, and a lot of times this is going to be a consistent, like a gradual edit that I have to go in and redo until I just make it look normal, like natural. So I'm doing this pretty fast just for this video purpose. Let's see here. And it might be something that I have to finish off camera and then just post a before and after. Once I get this edited. I'm hoping that I can just do like a kind of a quick edit and then you can kind of visualize, and then maybe I can do a before and after I really spend some time on this and show you how it looks afterwards. It's a process. It is definitely a process. That's why it's so important to understand the time, and for clients to value everything that I put into it, and what they're paying for. So not everybody knows how to do this part of it. So if you had a photographer that didn't know how to edit, they would have maybe got the shot and then not been able to make it a perfect image. they would have just had to either trash it or go in and just deliver it like that with the baby in it. Which is fine too, but let's see here. So I'm now working here. Zoom in a little bit there. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video. I will show you before and after whenever I get this completed. I'm going to zoom out here. You can see what I'm working on. It's going to take me a little bit longer, but as you can tell, that shirt looks pretty natural there by filling in. I was able to gather some space. After I'm finished, the BB will be out, and then I will go in and I will crop this image in to where it's more just them. It'll give a lot of space around the edge so that you can frame it and whatnot. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please comment below if there's any tutorials that you would like to see, any questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer those. Y'all have a good rest of your evening.